Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special program covering the official state visit of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah bless and protect him, to the Sultanate of Oman. On this special program, I will be joined in the studio by a distinguished guest and guests over the phone to talk about this visit as well as the deep-rooted bond between Kuwait and Oman. So stick around, it's going to be interesting.
The presence and participation of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, in the inauguration of the Duqm refinery in the Sultanate of Oman. A new era of the Kuwaiti-Omani strategic partnership.
His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah bless and protect, is conducting an official visit to the Sultanate of Oman that will last for 2 days. It is the second foreign visit for His Highness the Emir since assuming power. The visit reflects the embodiment of the advanced ties between the Sultanate of Oman and the State of Kuwait, and the affirmation of cooperation between them in various arenas. The visit will explore a range of topics of mutual interest in order to contribute to achieving the aspiration of the two countries towards a more prosperous future. On the second day of the visit, His Highness the Emir, alongside His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, will attend the opening of a Duqm refinery. The opening of the refinery marks a culmination to a fruitful economic cooperation between the two countries. Official discussions will also take place between the two sides, which reflect the keenness by the leaderships of both countries to further develop the strong relations between Oman and Kuwait. The Omani ambassador to State of Kuwait, Dr. Saleh Al Kharousi, said that His Highness's visit is of a special importance and represents a confirmation of the depth of the ties between the leaderships of the two countries and their peoples.
The presence and participation of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, in the inauguration of the Duqm refinery in the Sultanate of Oman. A new era of the Kuwaiti-Omani strategic partnership.
And now, join us with a distinguished guest right here in our studio, the academic columnist, Dr. Khalid Al Janfawi, for further developments into His Highness the Emir's visit to Oman. Dr. Al Janfawi, always a pleasure to have you back with us in the KTV2 studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, you have heard me talking about the official visit to His Highness the Emir to Sultanate of Oman, and it reflects a very deep, humongous relationship between the two countries. Could you elaborate on that?
Indeed, the project itself is a joint project between the State of Kuwait and the Sultanate of Oman, and it also represents, if you like, the culmination of really very strong historic relationship between the two countries. In addition to this, it also opens up, if you like, new projects in the future for the two countries, especially in the petroleum sector and also in different parts of the economy. And hopefully this project reaffirms once again the shared common history between the GCC countries, and also underlines the very important and special relationship between Oman and Kuwait. And hopefully in the coming future we will see also other similar projects that will benefit the economy of Kuwait and also the economy of the brotherly Sultanate of Oman.
I want to focus on the citizenship first, but if you just hold your thoughts, because I have another guest on the line, and he is Mr. Let me see his name. He's Manager Actor Petroleum, Mr. Al Hadlak. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Good morning or good evening to you.
Okay, and you are you represent the Al Dugam refinery, and your name is Imad Al Hadlak. Sir, we have in our studio Dr. Al Janfawi. We're talking about the Sultanate Oman and the state of Kuwait and the great relationship between them. We're not going to talk about the citizens now. We're going to talk about the refinery. Could you elaborate, because Mr. Al Janfawi mentioned something about the refinery, and it's some kind of the biggest project in the region. Would you concur with this or not?
Yeah, I agree fully with Dr. Lingawi that indeed this is the biggest happening in the region, and it warrants everybody's attention to actually, which is actually what is gathering today with the presence of His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Mish'al Al-Ahmed Al-Jabr Al-Sabah, and His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, who will be inaugurating this momentous occasion tomorrow, the 7th of February.
The Dugam refinery is located in the special economic zone at Dugam in the Sultanate of Oman and will contribute to supply the regional and global markets with the high quality refined oil products. Would you talk about this a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the strategic location of the Dugam refinery, which lies within the special economic zone at Dugam, which they refer to as CZAD, offers an unparalleled advantage in many areas in serving both the regional and global markets. With high-quality refined products, this actually location is situated close to major international shipping lanes. So this refinery will enjoy some logistical benefits over others, which will enhance its operational efficiency. I mean, this proximity not only allows for the swift and cost-effective delivery of the sell to various destinations worldwide, but will also ensure reduced time and lower the shipping costs. One additional thing that actually benefits Dugam refinery being in the CZAD zone is actually it enjoys a number of investment incentives because it's an economic zone, which makes it an ideal hub for our operations, which will promote economic development in the region. So absolutely the best and ideal location to be in. And also the storage tanks, which we actually will be stocking our crude, falls outside the Straits of Hormuz, which makes it also a strategic location whereby we can store our crude and ship it through an 80-kilometer pipeline to the refinery itself.
Mr. Hadlak, before you leave us, one final question. OQ8 has been designed for the outset in keeping with the internationally recognized environmental standards and guidelines. Would you explain?
Yeah, I mean, this has been always been part of our footprint. We wanted to make sure that the environmental elements of this project has been earmarked from day one. So what we are looking for is achieving the net zero target. So recognizing the significance of this goal and moving towards a lower carbon future, we have actively taken steps to significantly reduce our carbon footprint. So we have done everything within our power to make sure that we recognize the importance of having an environmentally friendly product. And as such, all our products will be following the strict, specifications to be able for this product to find its outlet and home to various continents around the globe.
Executive Vice President Manufacturing at Kuwait Petroleum International, Imad Al Hadlak. Thank you so much. Okay, he said something about the Jamfawi. I corrected him. The name is Dr. Khalid Al-Jamfawi.
Yes.
Always a pleasure to come back to you, sir.
Yeah.
He was talking about the economic and talking about the refinery. Let's focus a little bit about the citizens between these two countries. We all know that they live in the south and we live in the north. We have different environment, but
Yes.
we share the same values, same language, same religion, same everything.
Indeed, if we if we read about the historic relationships between the Sultanate of Oman and the State of Kuwait, we can trace this relationship back to the early 19th century. And of course, there are certain, if you like, let's say, events in our shared history that basically symbolize the uniqueness of this relationship. For example, back in the 1970s, thousands of Omanis worked in Kuwait and considered Kuwait as their, if you like, second home. And later, say after the 1990s, and especially during the Iraqi occupation, the brotherly Sultanate of Oman welcomed thousands of Kuwaiti, if you like, Kuwaitis who fled the country during the Iraqi occupation. So in addition to sharing similar historical experiences, we also share, if you like, let's say the Gulf states cultural identity. We share with our brothers and sisters in Oman, say the local Gulf culture, and most of the cultures of the 6 GCC countries are very similar to each other. But in the case of Oman, we also share with them, if you like, the similar political approach. We share with them a similar diplomatic approach in our relationship with the region and the world. In other words, the historical, if you like, position of both countries, politically and also strategically, has always been known as seeking, if you like, peace in the region, resolving, if you like, conflicts among say the countries in the region. In other words, we and the two countries adopt, if you like, a peaceful approach to regional relationships. This, of course, this similarity in political ideology, this similarity in diplomatic, if you like, approaches, cemented this very genuine historic relationship between the two countries. In addition to the relationship in the political sector of our, if you like, of our relationship, we also share with our brothers and sisters in Oman many things. Say culturally, traditionally, we have similar traditions. We also understand that Oman has a very special place in the hearts of Kuwaiti people, especially in Kuwaiti people, because of its of its, if you like, position during the 1990s occupation, because Oman actually immediately sided with the rights of Kuwait during the Iraqi occupation. And of course, our late Prince Sheikh Jabir Ahmed Al-Jabir Al-Sabah acknowledged that if you like, Omani support, and made his first international visits after the liberation of Kuwait to Oman to thank the late Sultan Qaboos for his support during those terrible times that we experienced in Kuwait. And also later the late Sheikh Sabah also cemented this very strong relationship with Oman by visiting Oman in 2009 and also inviting Sultan Qaboos back to Kuwait.
Not only that, he takes his own vacation in Oman.
Indeed, yeah.
He
indeed.
loves to go fish
This is
over
what
there.
we know.
Let's talk a little bit about the Digum once again.
Yes.
Because all it matters about creating jobs, creating opportunities,
yes,
make our life a lot better than it is. This project, how is going to affect the economic standards in the state of Kuwait as well as the Sultanate of Oman, and it will reflect eventually on the people?
Indeed, the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation, the company, will provide, if you like, almost 60%, 65% of the crude oil to the refinery in Oman. And of course, this crude oil will be refined in that petrochemical complex, and it will also be exported, if you like, to the Asian and African markets. In other words, the Dugum refinery and also the Dugum, if you like, special zone in that region represent also a very successful investment for Kuwait itself, because we will be able to find,
so
if
you
you
mean
like,
to say that it's a kind of a connection between the West and the East?
indeed,
through the Arab Sea and the
yeah,
south?
well, economically it will improve both economies in Kuwait and Oman. In addition to this, it will also provide Kuwait with a feasible access to the Arabian Sea and also the Indian Ocean. In other words, the location of the Dugum refinery and the Dugum special zone, if you like, is basically, it looks on the maritime international, if you like, lines of international,
closer than the state of Kuwait, which is located in the north.
Yeah, indeed, and this will, of course, facilitate the oil exports in Kuwait, and also it will provide, if you like, a more sustainable investment in our, if you like, national industry, which is basically oil industry or the crude oil industries. Thus, both countries will benefit from the project itself, and it's also, and we understand that this project is an outcome of the 2003 joint Omani-Kuwaiti, if you like, committee that basically inaugurated many agreements, especially in the economic sector, and thus these agreements culminated in the establishment of this very promising petrochemical complex that will benefit both countries.
How crucial it is, from your own perspective, that this investment from the state of Kuwait in Oman is going to affect the people. Now let's talk a little bit about the people, the economy in the state of Kuwait, as well as the Omani economy.
Indeed.
Is it crucial enough for it?
Yeah, indeed. It is really very important, because it will provide job opportunities for both Omani and Kuwaiti, if you like, citizens, because it is actually a joint project. In addition to this, it will also, if you like, increase the opportunities for the Omani, if you like, individuals, young people to be trained, and also it will provide opportunities for Kuwaiti young people to be trained in the oil sector. That's basically the ultimate result of this project is basically the benefit of both countries, and thus hopefully
creating jobs. This is what it all matters.
It will actually create many jobs in Kuwait for Kuwaitis and Omanis, and of course it will also improve, if you like, the
way of life.
The way of life in Oman. It will develop the Dugum region itself, because the project itself does not just focus on the petroleum economy, but it will also focus on improving the tourism in the region, in the Dugum region. It will improve, if you like, other kinds of, if you like, services, whether, facilities for producing oil, facilities.
So do you think it's going to live up to its own expectations?
Indeed,
they have high expectation. Is it going to live it up to it?
Well, so far as we understand from the recent, if you like, statistics, we understand that the first shipment was, if you like, exported a few weeks ago, and we understand that the benefit is really very, very powerful. In other words, in the Dugum refinery, the Kuwaiti crude oil will be 100%, if you like, refined. Instead of being refined, say, to
it's
70 or 50.
Usually heavy oil.
Yeah, it's heavy oil,
it's
and
heavy.
it's heavy, but
it's full of contaminants.
Indeed, but the refining process itself, it will produce, let's say, aviation fuel. It will produce more diesel. It will produce other, if you like, chemical substances that we need in our industry in Kuwait, and also in Oman, and also the rest of the world. So it's really it has a very good potential for improving the economy of the whole Middle Eastern region, being the largest, if you like, and the biggest, if you like, refinery in our region.
You sound like you know exactly what you're talking about. Maybe you and I, we should go there and pay them a visit and see what's exactly going on.
Inshallah.
Don't go away because I have a lot more questions to you. Folks, we will continue our conversation following this report that gives us further details on their remarkable energy projects.
The Sultanate of Oman announced that it's preparing to open the Duqm Petrochemical Industries refinery on Wednesday, February the 7th, which is one of the largest oil refineries in the Middle East and is awaited by global markets, adding new energy to the refining power in the Arabian Gulf region. The refinery will be opened by His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, may Allah bless and protect him, alongside His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, is expected to continue to raising the total refining capacity in the Sultanate to 500,000 barrels per day, an increase of 230,000 barrels per day of the Omani and Kuwaiti crude oil. The Duqm refinery is located in the Wusta Governorate of an area of 900 hectares, equivalent to more than 2,000 acres, and its investment value is $9 billion. It is considered the largest investment project between the Sultanate of Oman and the State of Kuwait. It is a joint venture between the Omani OQ Group and the Kuwait Petroleum International Company, with a 50% stake for each, and is managed by the Duqm Refinery and the Petrochemical Industries Company. The first major milestone achieved in the timeline of Duqm Refinery is the feasibility study completed in March 2011. On April 2018, Duqm Refinery signed deals with APC contractors to mark the successful beginning of its new oil refinery construction.
The presence and participation of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mish'al al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, in the inauguration of the Duqm Refinery in the Sultanate of Oman. A new era of the Kuwaiti-Omani strategic partnership.
Welcome back. We are now joined by our second guest over the phone, political analyst Mr. Jassim Qabazad. Mr. Qabazad, thank you so much for staying with us.
It's my pleasure, and thank you very much. And I'm very much pleased by the massive and informative information coming out from your beautiful program, Mr. Al-Wasmi, and from your honorable guest, Mr. Al-Janfawi.
Yeah, Dr. Al-Janfawi. Sir, I don't want it to be just like the last time. I ask you one question and you answer for the full questions. No, let's take it one at a time, sir. Could you tell us a little bit more about the significance of the visit of His Highness the Emir to Oman?
Yes, I think this the significance of His Highness visit to Oman is actually a reflection of the deep and long brotherly relationship between the two countries, which dates back, as far as I remember, 1917, when the rulers of Kuwait provided education and health care in the southern region of the Gulf area, including Sultanate of Oman. In 1963, the Kuwaiti government created an authority called Authority for the Development of the southern region of the Gulf states, and it was intended for Arab Emirates countries and also to Sultanate of Oman. And I do remember a friend who was sent over there to establish the first university in the Sultanate of Oman by the support of financial and teacher personnel. This authority lasted till 1992, and then the Kuwait Fund for Arab Development took over. So this is a good example that shows how deep the relationship is between the two countries. So the presence of His Highness the Emir today strengthens this relationship and reminds the people of both countries how friendly and how welcome the Omanis are to the Kuwaiti establishment to come to Sultanate Oman and invest. In simple words, it's just a continuation of a long time of friendly relationship between two countries.
Mr. Qabazard, as far as the economy is concerned, the opening of Al Duqm refinery is an important milestone in cooperation between the two countries. How do you see the cooperation further developing in the future?
As was mentioned by your colleague guest with you, and I don't like to repeat what they have said, to go to a little specifics, this refinery is actually helping both countries, Kuwait and the Sultanate Oman, by 50-50 share. And most of the products, the byproducts actually, help the transportation, airplane fuel, the trailers for moving goods, cooking gas, steel production, and cleaners and plastics and medical materials and asphalt. Already, as mentioned, some 73 shipments from this refinery has already been achieved from the beginning of the year, namely in January. So you can imagine that this project already is successful in supplying the world with byproducts of oil and of a very high standard to the latest specifications required by the world economists. And as we know, KIPC, which is the Kuwait International Petroleum Company, from these businesses is right now owning some 4,700 petrol stations in Europe. 2,800 of them is in Italy. It's supplying 70 airports with the byproduct of Kuwait fuel. It's also stationed primarily in Italy, Oman, and Vietnam, creating refineries such as this. So Kuwait actually, in its policy and its vision to have additional income from just the sale of oil, this particular project will add diversity of income for Kuwait. Now, if you look at it from the Sultanate of Oman, they themselves have achieved a very strategic project in their Oman vision, the year 2020 to 2040. This particular project is an achievement, is an early achievement, and it shows that even the Omani Sultanate is trying to diversify its economy and social development. This whole area is about 900 hectares. It's about 2 million square meters in a commercial area. So all this commercial area is going to be using the byproducts and also the small industries, medium industries, heavy industries. They're all going to flourish and increase in this area. So you can imagine the impact, economical impact, on the future of this area and of future of business in Oman. And that has already attracted international investors to come to this area. Mr. Al-Khrousi, he's the chairman of OQ, has declared that, let's say something like in the vicinity of $4.2 billion worth of development is envisaged for this area. Already, they have set up something like $2.4 billion for suppliers, the local suppliers, and is trying to enhance the business for the local. $1.27 billion for the infrastructure and services, $550 million for small and medium companies, $180 million to purchase locally produced materials from the local manufacturers. So you can see the great and positive dynamic income for the people of Oman, as this project is going to be progressing with the participation of Kuwait. So Kuwait has participated in creating new jobs for the Omani people in that area through this project. So it looks absolutely positive and wonderful.
Mr. Jassim Qabazard, always a pleasure, and you gave us a very comprehensive answer. Thank you so much. Dr. Al-Janfawi, ladies and gentlemen, he is still with us, and we are still happy to have you here.
Thank you.
We've listened to Mr. Qabazard, and he gave us a very sufficient answer. He covered every aspect and area about the Dugum refinery.
Yes.
Okay, let's pause a little bit here and let's talk a little bit about the cooperation between the state of Kuwait and Sultanate Oman. It goes back to, what is it, 10, 20, 30, 40 years?
Indeed. Well,
Something like that.
As I mentioned earlier.
Do you see anything improvement in the future?
Yeah, indeed. Well, I do actually see the potential for improving, say, the economic, let's say, cooperation between the state of Kuwait and the Sultanate of Oman, because in addition to having, if you like, a common cultural and historical, if you like,
you know, it makes
heritage.
it easier if you and I are on the same page. It makes it easier to cooperate. This is exactly, it goes the same thing with Kuwait and Oman. Indeed. They are on the same everything.
And well, they are indeed, indeed. As you said, they are in the same, on the same, if you like, plane, if you like, with diplomacy. They share similar, if you like, approach to resolving regional conflicts, especially within our Gulf region.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy, and also they have played, if you like, very important roles in
the role of mediation. They mediate
they are a great
between conflicts.
Yeah, indeed, they are great mediators, because, say, in say a few years ago, we witnessed in the Gulf region a couple of political, if you like, conflicts among some of the GCC countries. The role of Oman and Kuwait was very similar. They contributed to resolving the issues between those, if you like, 4 GCC countries. And also they have been known historically of approaching regional conflicts with the intention of resolving it peacefully. And that is why, if you like, we find so many common things among Kuwaitis and Omanis, politically and economically and even traditionally. So in addition to this, I think in the next few years, let's say in the next 10 years or so, we will see the great potential of this cooperation, economic cooperation, if you like, giving its actual fruit and basically improving the economy of Kuwait and the economy of Oman, and also opening up, if you like, the Gulf oil industry itself to the world. In other words, the impact of this refinery and the special Dugum economic zone will basically increase, let's say, the oil output, the oil exports, and ultimately benefiting the whole region itself, because of its, if you like, of the political stability of Kuwait, and because of the what is known about Oman being politically stable, and of course the strategic location of the Dugum region itself continues to be very promising for future projects, either in tourism or in other sectors of the economy.
Dr. Al-Janfawi, stay with us, because I have another thing to show our audience. First, let's take a look at our next report, looking at the history of economic and the cooperation and investment between the state of Kuwait and the Sultanate of Oman.
Economic and trade relations between the Sultanate of Oman and the state of Kuwait are witnessing remarkable growth, thanks to the efforts made by the leadership of the two countries to activate the agreements and memorandums of understanding signed between them. The private sector in both countries seek to take advantage in the investment opportunities available in lucrative sectors to expand and deepen areas of cooperation and mutual investment to achieve their common interests. Statistics issued by the Omani National Center for Statistics and Information indicated that the volume of trade exchange between the Sultanate of Oman and the State of Kuwait has been growing increasingly over the past 5 years. The Duqm Refinery Project, a joint investment project shared equally between the Sultanate of Oman and the State of Kuwait, is one of the manifestations of the depth of the fraternal relations that brings together the Kuwaiti and Omani peoples. The project is considered one of the largest energy projects in the region, which reflects diversified investment exchange between the two countries and open the way for enhancing investment in different sectors. The private sector in both countries is also looking forward to concluding more partnership through small and medium enterprises as shared by the visions of both Kuwait and the Sultanate of Oman.
The presence and participation of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mish'al al-Ahmed al-Jabr al-Sabah. May Allah protect and bless him, in the inauguration of the Duqm Refinery in the Sultanate of Oman. A new era of the Kuwaiti-Omani strategic partnership.
Well, before we conclude this wonderful interview, Dr. Khalid al-Jabr is still with us, and I have one final question because for the record, he's suffering from a pained shoulder on the left shoulder, and he, preferred to come over here through the pain. We appreciate that, honestly.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit, and the final question, about the future of the economic relations between the two countries regarding the Duqm Refinery and other things in the horizon.
Well, I think it's the future of the economic cooperation between Oman and Kuwait is very promising, not just because of the joint project in Duqm, but because of the future prospects of such cooperation. In other words, Oman, with its diverse, if you like, topography, with its intention for diversifying its national income, with its approach to, if you like, to renewable energies. In other words, it shares with Kuwait many of its economic, if you like, aspirations. And hopefully this common ground between the two countries will basically, one can predict, so let's say in the next 10 years or so, to see similar projects to the, to the Duqm Refinery, similar, maybe stronger actually, economic cooperation and trade cooperation, maybe stronger even political ties, because both Kuwait and Oman share a similar, if you like, political approach.
When you say sharing, that means that you share the expertise from both countries.
Yes. Well, they share the same political expertise, and also they have adopted historically balanced, if you like, political and diplomatic positions in relation to the rest of the region itself. Because, say Oman is known for its tendency to mediate between, say, the regional countries, if they
like local conflicts here and there.
Like say the previous few conflicts in the Gulf region. Kuwait has also been known historically of providing and contributing to the resolution of many conflicts in the Arab region.
Ever since the
Middle
inception
East.
of the state of Kuwait, they have the same diplomacy.
There's a similar diplomacy, and also maybe a more, let's say, a slower approach to, let's say, forming international alliances with the countries. In other words, they are part of the non-alliance organization, and both countries continue to be part of that, if you like, international organization. Thus, their political, if you like, approach to forming new alliances is very, let's say, is very calculated, is very peaceful, it's very balanced, and you will see that approach on both the Omani and Kuwaiti diplomacy, say in its relation, in the regional relationships, and also in their relationship to the rest of the world. So I think,
not
because
to mention that this project is going to give birth to more projects in the region. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Every country is going to take a step, following these steps, to do the same thing, to to produce more and creating more jobs to their people.
Yeah, indeed. If this
they follow the
project
same footsteps.
Indeed, if this project continues to succeed, I think this will also has a great will have a positive impact on the economies of the Gulf region. In other words, the other local economies in the GCC countries will also benefit because of this success of the Omani and Kuwaiti region, and hopefully Kuwaiti and Omani projects, and hopefully in the next few years we will also see more contribution by the other GCC countries and basically investing in Oman.
Dr. Khalid Al-Janfawi, I would love to keep on talking to you, but feeling sympathy because you are suffering from a left shoulder pain. So I'm going to let you go tonight.
Thank you.
You promise you'll come back again?
Indeed, yeah, I will.
Pleasure. Folks, that was the academic and the columnist, Dr. Khalid Al-Janfawi. It was a pleasure having him in our program and share the inputs. The state of Kuwait and the Sultanate of Oman will always have a unique bond that links the two countries and peoples. With the opening of a Duqm refinery, the horizon for economic cooperation, it's limitless. And the two countries continue their march towards further development, sharing one destiny. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Ahmed Al-Wasmi. Hope to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. with the latest news. Stick around. The entertainment will continue right here on KTV2. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye-bye.